Happy December, everyone. Hope everyone is having a nice holiday season and are putting up the tree, enjoying some time with family and friends, and appreciating how the price of silver has appreciated. So, over the last year, or I should say year to date, we're up 31%. And really, even though the economy is going well, stock market is ripping, which are usually signs that work against silver, a lot of the data that I'm seeing suggests that worldwide currencies are weakening and the application for silver and gold in compute, which is especially hot in the AI space, continually is a driver of that price. And going into the future, what has been money for thousands of years will continue to be sound money. And one of the ways that we've found for this holiday season to incentivize people to invest in silver is through our unique rewards program of giving 3% back on your purchases for the appreciation for a decade after something was purchased. So, for example, say you buy 500 ounces of silver, you're going to get that 3% rewards in the form of a $500 certificate. So any appreciation that is seen in silver over the next 10 years will be given to you either in silver or cash. And we see it as a way of getting connected to the price of silver, gifting it to someone that you want to get started on that foundational journey. And we do the yearly rewards to give people the option of either keeping it in silver or just taking out for cash for expenses. And this is probably the best time to buy really anything, whatever you're shopping for, but definitely spot silver and gold because for new customers, we're doing a 0% premium promotion. And you think for a minute, wait a minute, you have the 3% reward, you have 0% spot. Like, what are you doing this for? Are you trying to go out of business? And the reality is that as a silver saver, we're working on the behalf of our customers to get them into the right frame of mind for saving. You see a lot of people that are into the silver saving hobby and are stacking silver and they're going into coins, which is great. But the reality is that each time you buy in and out of a coin, a lot of times you're doing up to 5% as a loss because a dealer is going to want to make a buck or two for a coin. And that's something that you're going to have to contend to. So if you invest in something and you're down 10%, I mean, it could be a year or more before you get that back. So we really feel like to make the incentives aligned the right way, going vault storage is the way to go. You buy it and forget it, which is what all great investors do, and then you can retire off the proceeds. So as we see it, it's the best way to go because when you purchase the precious metals, one, you can always do a chargeback on the credit card if you're unhappy for whatever reason. And then two, all of the vaults are audited through a CPA. It's straight down the middle in terms of bonding companies, insurance companies. Like you're not going to find a more straightforward way to invest that is so absent the fees that you'll see on exchange traded funds, the vaults that are in your neighborhood, um, the vaults that are overseas. There's a lot of risk factors associated with trying to do it yourself. And also, you think about there's considerations that our customers have that may not be immediately apparent to you, specifically the preppers. So let's say that you have a vault in your house with several thousand grams of silver, several hundred grams of gold, and the word gets out that you have a vault. Someone may come to do some plumbing work at your house. You may show a neighbor, or a neighbor may hear through your wife that you have a vault. someone through the cable company may come by and see it. Like, word gets out there, and those vaults represent an elevated risk if you're trying to keep it into your house. So the real difficulty there is you could put it into like a bookcase, or you have to hide it in a certain way. But the reality is that it's difficult to do it in the way that people envision it properly. And preppers, they have to go to great lengths to hide it. But the reality is that people know on the block who the preppers are. And I was at a 4th of July festival, and a prepper was there, and the whole block knew about it. And Bill was joking around with Jim and saying, "Jim, we're so excited that you're stockading all of that gold, silver, and guns, because when we have another pandemic, we're so excited to go there and collect our share for being your friend over the years." And he was like, "What? That's not going to happen." And the guy was kidding. He was like, "Well, there's 30 of us and one of you. Like, we know that you have it, and we're going to come and take it. You can't stop all 30 of us." So the reality is, it's best to, as John D. Rockefeller said, own nothing, control everything. So you don't own physical storage of the gold or silver, but you have it in your name or the name of an entity associated with you as an irrevocable trust or revocable living trust, some sort of entity that you have arm's length control over. And that will allow you to, one, you can get it, very easily if you want to have it liquidated and then ACH'd into whatever bank account that you deem appropriate, or to be able to, let's say you go to another country, let's say you have some sort of legal dispute, you can get it there in a safe and secure way, and you have the protection of the entities that have collateralized, verifiable ownership in these bonded and insurance contracts that are backed by these vaults. So I just see it as really the way to go. I've been doing it for decades, have not had any difficulty, and I really think that it's a good way to go. Minus the serious silver savers that don't want to deal with the fees that you're going to get on, exchanges or any of the other vehicles. You have people that are credit card churning. So let's say you have like a Citi Advantage card and you want to rack up a bunch of miles. If you're wanting to do international travel, sometimes it makes sense to buy whatever you want to buy or buy something with your card, because you can get essentially 5% back. If you're looking at the value of the first class or business travel internationally versus the rewards dollars that you're getting. So you buy 100 ounces of silver with a credit card, immediately pay it off. You get 5% back in the form of the reward value. You get, in the case of working with us, 3% back by buying from, you get in the form of the purchase rebate. You can cash out within a week of the end of the chargeback window by getting an ACH transfer. So you have no risk. You could always charge back the gold if you don't want it. You can hedge it along the way. It essentially, to my eye, is the best way to go if you're wanting to do churning at scale. And it sidesteps the difficulty of trying to pay your mortgage with a credit card with different providers that are disallowed by the rewards programs by all these credit card companies. So it's the most straightforward way to go. You don't have to mess around with gift cards or those types of things and trying to buy, you uh, all sorts of ways that involve additional fees that you may not be immediately aware of. Certainly those that are wanting to give a gift for the holidays, not just to someone that would immediately want to sell it, but someone that really had an awareness about how precious metals should comprise at least a few percentage points of any portfolio that wants to be resistant to future pandemics, calamities, people realizing, as Ben Franklin said, that the end of democracy will be ushered in when people realize that they can vote themselves money. which we're seeing now during the pandemic when 25% of US dollars that have ever been printed were printed, and inflation has, or at least during a period of time, was ripping and now is artificially being suppressed, but just under the weight of government debt that the chicken's going to roost on fairly quickly. So we have any number of different types of customers that are a fit, and most likely, if you have a retirement portfolio or you fit into any of these categories, that would be you. So we would invite you to email us. We have our email address in the notes. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, because we'll have monthly silver giveaways as we get the word out about the right way to invest into silver and stack silver in a way that rids you of the fees that many have been used to over the years and gives you the best chance to have a comfortable, fun, and travel filled retirement. Thanks, guys, and looking forward to the next video.